1 hour where there's a 12 mini workshops of finance game, and every week we'll go through one portion on how to make over our financial situation. I do hope that you guys are learning something and also implementing some of it. But of course, it depends on your current situation. So how many of you are ready to up your finance game? If you are, can you please type R? And for the next portion of the workshop, right, we'll be talking about investing university. And today we have something very, very important. In fact, it's one of the 3 financial statements. If let's say you have not watched the previous workshop, please do go and watch it. It's on the YouTube. We will post the links on the Telegram as well. So let's go ahead and talk about financial makeover. Very quick recap. The purpose of doing this is to make sure that we master money instead of letting money master us. And there's a roadmap. Today, I want to quickly focus, or rather go through this roadmap again. So I want to go through the roadmap, mini emergency fund. This should be your first goal. So take it as a checklist and a milestone to reach finally retirement, future, and also your legacy planning. The first one is to have an emergency fund. If you do not have yet, make sure you have disposable income, liquid income, that you can at least access to. It's not your pizza money, it's the money that you put aside in case of emergency. Second, get your insurance. This is something that I will be talking about it, and something also some personal sharing, but not this week. Subsequently, I'll be talking about it. It's very important because without having the right protection, sometimes incident can just wipe out your whole finances. Not sure any of you experienced that before. Hopefully not. But personally, I've experienced something like that before, and I'll be sharing with you my own personal experience and also where you can get some resources. I don't really promote insurance. I don't sell insurance, but this is something I thought is important. Then we talk about debt elimination. Any of you guys watched the video about debt elimination? If you did, can you please type me? If you did not, you can type question mark. Do watch it even though you do not have debt or you think that you do not have debt. Because, right, what is happening is I watched a video recently about Warren Buffett talking to a lady who has like credit card debts of 18%. And she was asking him where should she invest. And he told her that if you have any money, just go and pay off the debt first, because there's no guarantee of 18% anywhere else. So he said, go and make sure that whatever money that you pay off your debt with that percentage is how much money you are making. So that's the thing that he told her. And then she asked, where should I invest my daughter's money? He says, same thing, go and pay off your debt, because it will snowball. Today we'll take a look about it. So there's a lot of other things that we can actually do to achieve our financial freedom and a peace of mind. And very importantly, do not worry, okay? Because nothing belongs to us. Cast all our worries back to the creator who gave us all this. Give it back to God, okay? So why are we worrying about something that doesn't belong to us? We should still be good managers, but there's a difference between planning and worry. How many of you understand the difference? If you understand, type 1. If you're not sure, I thought planning includes being worried. It's different. You can type 2. Now, let me just share with you this. There is a difference between creative tension versus structural tension. So whenever something is not according to what you want, you will start to have a certain tension. The tension can be worry or can be creative tension, where you use to actually do planning and do step by step to move towards your goal. So example, you want to have a nice body, you want to have a financial freedom, and you're not there yet. There's a gap. So between where you are versus where you want to be, that gap will create a tension in your mind. In order to relieve that tension, there are 2 ways. One is to really plan it and then start to actually work towards it. So once you have a certain plan, you work towards it, right? The tension will be lesser and lesser. There still needs to be some tension. If there's no tension, you'll not move towards it. But it's not the worrying kind of tension. The other way to deal with it is just to worry, imagine all the bad things, and keep complaining why you're so unlucky. That shouldn't be the way, okay? So anyway, we brought nothing with us. We can bring nothing with us when we are gone. The key thing is to use this money as resources. Can you all please type R, resources? That's important. It is not to actually worship money or become ultimately so rich for what? Okay, a lot of people actually use the money to buy ego. I realize this is what I noticed. A lot of people like to look good. They want people to admire them, and they think that money can do it. Unfortunately, that is not true. Whatever things you buy, whatever branded goods you have, people don't like respect you for that. They respect you for who you are. And anyway, is people's respect so important? Think about it, okay? So last week we talked about the debt method, and in case you didn't watch it, please watch it, because clearing of debt, investing, money management is a lot not about logic, but a lot about how you manage mentally. So I'll talk about it. And today we'll talk about investing, and next week we'll talk about budgeting, and also how to talk about really building up your unshakable finance, having certain amount of insurance. But how much is enough? Okay, I have certain ideas on what happened, so I can share with you guys. Okay, let's go back to today's topic about investing. Now, first of all, right, I'm going to share with you, for me, I've been reading a lot of investing books, attended a lot of courses. I don't know whether you have been influenced by any books or courses before. If you did, you can also type in the comments below. Have you read any books or attend any courses that helped you towards your financial goals? If you did, do share. For me, read many books starting from Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen, Tony Robbins, the Total Money Makeover. There's so many teachers. And you know what's the issue? The issue is all of them are amazing teachers with great results. It is just that sometimes the principles suits their current situation or their specific geographical location. And sometimes right, it's conflicting. Example, one person can say, oh, you have to live below your means, okay? Whatever that you make, amount of income, do not spend too much, have certain assets to save it. Another teacher can say, no, you should spend beyond your means. If you are making $1,000, you should spend 2,000 because that will cause you to go into a creative tension and learn how to make 2,000. So there's conflicting ideas. So who is right? Now, for me, I go back to the Bible, and biblically, right, there's something I feel that is universal and totally proven throughout time. So this is one thing I need you guys to actually really take a look at and see whether it makes sense. It says that wealth that's gained hastily will dwindle, meaning to say it will disappear. If you try to make money fast, try to get rich fast, it will disappear. Oh, by the way, give me a moment. Let me just show you guys something because I received something in my letterbox and I thought it's quite interesting to show you guys. Wanted to show you by forgot to bring it here. I'm going to just adjust my background so that I can show you guys this very interesting thing. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, for a while. Okay, I'm back. So I'm not sure whether you all heard of this company before. So I was okay. Let me spotlight myself in case you guys can't see me. Any of you heard of this company before? If you heard of this company before, or you can type me. If you have never heard before, you can type 0. Okay, so now generating assets of millions and so my company and things like that. But when I first started, this is my first investment. This is my first investment. Anyone else got this letter? Oh, nobody heard of this company before. Means that you guys are very young. For those who heard before, it is one of the biggest scam in Singapore. Okay, it was the biggest scam in Singapore. I invested if I'm not wrong about 20 over $1,000 when I was very young, just started working. My whole entire savings gone into this company. Okay, this company is basically a scam. Okay, it's basically a scam. The founder, all these go to jail, come out already, and I don't know why they sent me this letter. I don't think I'm gonna get anything back, but it is a good reminder because I was trying to pass. I was trying to get rich quick because they actually promised a lot of riches. They promised that if you put 20,000 with us, you can get back don't know how much. And it seems very nice, but I never do my due diligence. I didn't know how to invest. Okay, in case you all didn't know about this company, right? Let me just quickly share with you guys because I want to encourage you. In case you have lost a lot of money before, so did I. And this is only one of the many scams that I invested in. Because I didn't know better. I thought that someone is better than me. They should know how to invest, right? So just now, if you all saw the name, it's called Sunshine Empire. You just need to do a very quick search. Sunshine Empire. Very likely you will start to see this thing. Wikipedia. It is it's not really a MLM company, but basically it is a big scam. It's a big scam. So the founder go into jail and things like that. Okay, so lost a lot of money. It was very painful back then. It's like, wow, all my savings, like I saved for so many years, some bonuses, year-end bonus, everything wiped out, everything gone. It is painful to lose money, but it is important to learn from it so that don't let your pain go to waste. For me, I decided, okay, I cannot just listen to advice just like that. I cannot try to get rich quick. Okay, so try to get rich quick will never ever work. Will never work. What about people who make money from lottery? Well, usually they also lose it. You see, so if you gain your wealth hastily, it will be gone. If you gather them little by little, it will increase it and you'll become truly wealthy. Nobody likes to do it step by step, little by little. Nobody wants to wait, but this is the way. That's why very few people become rich. Okay, got it? But yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme, Damien. Okay, Mr. Pang. Yeah, I think some of you guys know. So in case you all think I'm very smart, look at me. Again, my face doesn't look smart. I'm not really that smart. So It's okay. You lost money before, can bounce back one. I lost a lot of money, probably 5 figure, 6 figure, in all sorts of methods, losing through investing, trading, got scammed in property, got scammed so many times. Okay. So bounce back and then become stronger. So I do hope that you guys are encouraged if let's say you went through that before. Okay. Painful period. It was painful period. But just push on. And on hindsight, now it looks like a joke to me. Okay. Now, so actually, are we supposed to even invest? Good news is I was actually quite glad because I was struggling last time. Is it even correct to be rich? Is being rich evil? But however, when I read the Bible, God actually talk about the parable of the talents. It's not saying that we should be rich, but it's using investing as an example. If you get the money, you're supposed to grow it. Okay. Now, if let's say God is against investing, He will not use that as an example, correct? Just like I will not tell my children, I say, hey, you should be a kind person and share things with your friend. Then the example I use will not be something that is against it one. Example, I'll not tell my kids, if let's say you got a packet of cigarettes, okay, you should share half with your friend. No, I don't encourage smoking. I will never use this as an example. But if I say, okay, if let's say you have two apples, okay, you have food, share with your friend. I'm not against food. Doesn't mean that you should indulge in food, but it's something that's not against a certain principles. Okay. So in case you are very worried, hey, am I supposed to invest? Am I not supposed to invest? Is it gambling? Well, I tell you, it's definitely okay if you do it with the right intention and the right heart. Finally, this is something very important. Now, this part is one of my favorite, like signing off. Anybody knows, like whenever I sign off a message, what do I like to end it off with? Okay. Those who actually got huge sum of money, right, inheritance, right, if they do not manage it well, they may lose it fast as well. In fact, study shows, right, a lot of people don't know how to manage their wealth and it's gone. So for those who actually inherit wealth, I don't think it's a good idea also. In fact, for me, I will not leave a lot for my children. I think they know about it. I'll give them some enough to actually help them get started, but not give them so much money. Not only will they lose it, they will lose their character. That's my own opinion. How long does a wealth last in a dynasty? A few generation is gone, and by the third and second generation, you think you give a lot of money to them is helping them? Really? You think so? Okay, I don't think so. So this is again my opinion. Now, however, interestingly, as yourself, you should build yourself to have the ability to give the wealth to them, but doesn't mean you should give to them, or you should be wise enough to give to them in a certain way, okay, in a certain timeline that helps them in certain areas. But they should nobody should inherit so much wealth. I feel that it just spoils the soul. This is my opinion, and this is based on years of research and studies that they have shown. In people who inherit health don't become rich, they become lazy. Okay, so this is my opinion. Okay, now do you all know whether what is my favorite signing off? I always talk about in investing. There's this thing I mentioned. Always something is everything. I always mention that. In case you all didn't know, is sizing. Position sizing is everything. Yes, size is everything. And I let me tell you why. Ecclesiastes is written by Solomon, one of the wisest, smartest, biggest brain guy in the whole entire world. And he said this: invest into 7 ventures, yes, into 8, because you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Meaning to say, whenever you invest, you don't know what's going to happen to your investment. There's no guarantee. Zero guarantee on earth. Lehman Brothers. Okay, even you talk about the best investment, whatever holdings, I shall not mention names. But the thing is, none of them is guaranteed. Even the smartest man know that he cannot pick a perfect investment. He say invest into 7 or 8 because you need to diversify. You need to position size. This is what I strongly believe in. Sizing is everything. Okay. So lastly, do not love money because it's never enough. Okay. So love people. Okay. And also love God and use money for these purposes. So I want to share with you guys this interesting story. This story is called, I don't know how to pronounce quite a number of the name. Slumach Pit Lake Go. Don't know whether have you all heard of this before. Now, I'm coming to the main lesson point, right, to tell you that it's very interesting. Many people in life wants to get wealthy. I mean, I also want to get wealthier because it gives me more choices. It allows me to do more things. Hopefully, as I get wealthier, I do not become too lazy or become too greedy or like forget about certain things. But the thing is this, a lot of people are in search of wealth. So there's this article about this Coquilums, this person, right? Okay, he was actually searching for this Slumach gold. This Slumach gold, right, it's a very popular for many years, right? People are searching for it. Okay, so what happened is this Pig Lake's Lost Gold, right? It's a legendary gold mine to be said to be near this Pig Lake. So it's in British Columbia, Canada. Okay, so it's in Canada, but it's called British Columbia. And what happened, right, is there's this particular person, Slumach, okay, Slumach, how do I pronounce his name again? Slumach, okay? He actually found the gold, and then he start to take the gold, and then start to exchange it for money. But by the way, this is a real person. So what person, this guy, right, keep having gold, and then keep going to take the gold, change for money, and he lived quite a so-called comfortable life until one day he murdered someone, and then he got hanged. So upon hanging him, right, people asked him, where do you get the gold from? He refused to tell, and he took the secret to the grave. But a lot of people go and study where he went to get the gold and stuff like that. This is, by the way, not a fake story. It's actually a real story. Okay, so they actually, the story is real. It's just that whether the gold is it really there, nobody can verify. But a lot of people claim that they actually saw the gold. So, example, this gentleman, he claimed to have discovered the gold. And the last part, right? Okay, he was actually he mentioned that I've seen it with my own eyes. I know I've seen it. The issue is this. Okay, now for people in search of that gold, right? This is what happened. You can read the Wikipedia, you can read the history. Everyone who tried to search for the gold started dying. So you can see since 1990, 1932, these are all the people who has been recorded to gone missing, to actually die of certain like weird diseases. And then the list goes on. These are only some of them, okay? Only 5 of them worth reporting, but there's a lot. You can go and read through them. So this is actually very, very eerie, correct? But at the same time, it's a real thing. You all can go and there's this actual location to hunt for the gold. Now, the question is this. Let's say, right, let's say I ask you this. Okay, so they estimated the gold probably is in a couple of millions of dollars. Now, if let's say I tell you that near somewhere around your location, there is a gold mine. There is a gold mine and it's pretty near you. Will you try to hunt for it? And it's not cursed. It's not cursed. It's actually gold. Okay, I heard recently, was it this Vietnamese lady who actually fraud, like had a fraud of a few $billion. She's like sentenced to death and she threw the gold into a sea. So people are also searching for it. If you know that there's a certain location that have gold and is accessible to you, will you actually try to hunt for it? Okay, and it belongs to you if you find it. Will you? If you will, you can type yes. If not, you can type no. So really, if let's say there's a treasure worth millions that's non-cursed and accessible to you, would you want it? So I want to share with you that when I was actually in the military last time, there's this particular terrorist called Mas Selamat who escaped, and I was part of the unit that was in charge of searching for him. So as I was searching for him, right, the government announced saying that, okay, anyone who can find him, I'll give you $1 million. Anybody remember that? If you remember that, you can type me. So it was very interesting. And I read news about people who quit their job to go and hunt for him. Okay, it's quite interesting. So, people want to search for this $1 million. Now, I want to share with you a few interesting readings that I did. This book, right, is very interesting. It's called The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. Okay, so David Bach, right, in this book, there's this very interesting concept. I do recommend that you guys read it. Okay, I love the concept inside. In this concept, right, he actually talk about investing. He talk about quite a number of things, and he conducts seminars. But one day, a friend of his came and said, "Hey, it's nice idea to talk about investing, but I have no money to invest. It's so tight. My salary just match my expenses, nothing to invest." And then after that, right, when he started talking to his friend, right, he realized his friend was holding something in the hand. Okay, it is actually a latte. So a Starbucks latte. And he asked the friend, how much does this latte cost? And the friend said, okay, this latte costs about $5. And he said, how much latte do you drink a day? He said, just one a day. I need to drink every day. And he said, do you drink this every day? He said, yes, every day. I'll need to drink. How about weekends? Weekends also, I need to start my day with a coffee, with a latte. And he said, this $5, are you sure you can afford it if let's say you cannot afford to invest? So this is the whole key idea. So the whole entire latte, right? Let me just do a quick calculation for you guys. Okay. Okay, it's all here actually. Okay. Oh, the results is here, but never mind. Let's do a quick calculation again. But let me share with you the whole concept of it and what David Bach mentioned. So you can see a latte costs, let's say, about $5. Okay. Some of you are not drinking coffee and say, how is this relevant to me? Just hang on for a moment. It's not just about the coffee. Oh, where's my calculator? Okay. Okay, so so if it's a $5 coffee, multiply by 365 days, just to make it simple. I know maybe some days I drink, some days I don't drink. Okay, it's $1,825. Now, if you invest in this, right, and then let's say you started drinking coffee at 20 years old, and you work for let's say 40 years until 60 years old, which is quite common, right? Now it's maybe even longer, 65 That doesn't matter. We start at 20, we work until 60, and every day when you go to work, weekend, you also drink coffee. So for the next 40 years, you are drinking coffee. Imagine you're able to just put into S&P 500, which historically has been growing at about 9 to 11%, roughly around there. I'm going to put 10% just as a benchmark. Okay, we can minus that, plus minus. So your coffee is actually about near 1 million, $971,000. Okay, so you guess what? The whole idea is this. Why did I talk about the treasure hunting? Why did I talk about latte, right? So David Bush in his book, right, he mentioned, let's go treasure hunting. Let's find out what is your latte factor. Now, in fact, this whole idea became so powerful, he wrote another entire book just about the latte factor. The whole key thing of latte factor is this. If you think carefully, if you are very careful in analyzing your finances, there'll be some latte factor in your life, something that you don't really need to spend. You can have alternative spending. So after I read this book, right, just to share with you what I did. So for me, what I did was after I did a review, I changed my car. That time, okay, this is a picture of a car in case you guys can't recognize because my art is extremely advanced and people can't really recognize it's a car. So what happened was at that point in time, before I knew about all this financial knowledge, right? I was driving a Honda Airwave. Okay, not say a very luxurious car, but this Honda Airwave, right? It cost me around, if I remember clearly, about 1,005 every single month just to finance it. Okay, so after I was thinking, wow, maybe this car is my latte factor. But that time I was in the military, and the military camp is pretty far away. If I'm going to take bus, if I'm going to take public transport, it may take me probably 1.5 hours to reach there. If I drive the car, it will take me about 45 minutes. So, and it's through and fro every single day. So I feel that I still need a car. Very simply, I sell away the car and I change it to a second-hand Kia Cerato. So this Kia Cerato, right, cost me about $800 every single month. Now, of course, there are other expenses like petrol and quite a number of things, correct? But immediately, do you see that I save another $700? And $700, okay? Oh no, some people are, if you're listening with your spouse and the wife is looking at the husband saying, you better change your car now. Okay, I'm so sorry, you're gonna get in a fight. I hope not. Okay, so 700 multiplied by 12, I can save another 8,400 every single year. Correct. So if I maintain that habit of not spending that additional $700, 8,400 every single year, imagine how much it can be. I'm saving $4 million. Okay, can you see that? So this is something that I found. And after that, I became very excited in treasure hunting, hunting for the latte factor. So you remember, I already found another $4 million. I realized that just by using a particular credit card, a POSB everyday credit card instead of the normal credit card, when I pump petrol, every month I can save up to another $30. That's $1 a day. Doesn't matter, it all adds up. So by the time I finish cleaning up my finances, right, I could save up to another 1,005 every single month. Now, would you like to have another 1,500 every single month? Oh, yeah, one more thing that I did, right, just to share with you guys, I also reviewed my insurance plan, and I also realized there are some plans, right, I don't even know why I buy them. I buy them because quite a number of my friends became financial advisors, so I bought a number of them, and I got a trusted friend to review everything, and he said that there's quite a number of duplicate. You can stop some of them. So by stopping some subscription, by stopping some insurance plan, but make sure you do a proper review, I could find a lot of hidden gold. Now, do you believe that right now that your finances is not optimized? If you do believe in that, can you please type O for optimize? So it can be like treasure hunting, it can be optimized. This is something that I want to tell you that I'm pretty sure that all of us got this latte factor. So take some time to really go through this. We probably have one session. We go through every single thing, look through your thing, and ask, hey, this subscription, do I still need or not? So I can tell you this, right? I save about 1,005 every single month, right? So I was quite happy. And guess what? By the end of the year, 1,005. Okay, let me just show you guys this. And it's something very realistic. 1,005 multiplied by 12, I got another $18,000, which I cannot find. Okay, let me tell you what happened. So I'm supposed to have another 18,000 every single year, correct? I couldn't find them. At the end of the year, I'm thinking, hey, where is this $18,000 that I supposed to save? It just disappeared. I changed my car. I changed the credit card. I reduced my insurance plan. I cut off subscription. And in the end, I'm not any richer. What is the problem? What's the problem? The problem is I thought I saved the money, but I didn't really save it. I didn't force save it. So after you realize that this is the amount you can save and you change your lifestyle, make sure it goes somewhere. So there's this particular topic we talk about forced saving, correct? Like save as you earn. If let's say you realize you can save another $500 a month, make sure when your income comes in, that additional 500 is added to your savings and put aside immediately. Otherwise, we humans are extremely creative. We can find millions of ways to spend that additional money. How many of you can relate to what I'm talking about? You don't even know, like your income just increased. Yes, I got another pay increment of 200, 500. Where did it go? We will never know, okay? So make sure force save it. Don't let your money loose. Make sure we govern the money, okay? Go to your wife. So, okay, by the way, this is a real life story. So I was so shocked, like, where did the money go? But anyway, once you are able to find the money, just compound it. And guess what? These are money that doesn't change your lifestyle. You see, I still have a car. Doesn't change my lifestyle. The car is just a little bit smaller. It doesn't hurt me, you know. The credit card doesn't hurt me. So I change things that doesn't hurt me. These are the hidden investing. So these are money you are spending anyway, anyhow, correct? You take this money, you go and invest. Even if you lose them, it's not that painful. You know why? Because it is just there that you're just extracting them. It's like free money that it's not really free money, but you get the idea, correct? So this is something I want to share. So now, I also want to just share with you guys. Do you know how much money you actually make throughout your lifetime? Okay, so this is something, again, if not careful, we will just let it disappear. So I'm going to take an average that our average income is about 3,000. Now, worst case scenario, multiply by 12, you do have 13-month bonus, and your monthly income never increase. I mean, this is unrealistic. I'm putting a very prudent amount. So we are making about 36,000 per year, or even more, should be more, correct? Or as you grow older, you progress, it should be more. But right, should be more. And we will work for about 40 years. So we talk about working starting from 20 all the way to 60. 36,000 multiplied by 40 years. We make about 1.4 million. At the end of 40 years, where's that 1.4 million? Oh, I got to use it to finance my house, finance this thing. No, but if you just take a portion of it and then go and start to invest 10%, 20%, and then really optimize it a little bit more, no need to be so stingy and really live until like you cannot take your lifestyle. No, just have a normal lifestyle. Okay, you save it, you compound it, you still can go for holiday. Let me tell you, by the end of, let's say, 40 years, 30 years, that 1 million will be in your bank account if you actually invest in it wisely. Okay, so I do hope that this inspires you guys. We already have the ability, and most of us, we have $1 million passing through our hands already. So make sure you keep some of it, compound it, so that by the end of it, you still have a few million. Okay, so now, key thing is this. Some of you may have heard of this before. I'm sharing with this for those who didn't. How do you spend your money? The money that comes in, if you spend it one time and it's gone, like eating food gone, it is called an expense. If you buy a car, okay, car is really a liability in Singapore. Once you acquire it, you spend money to buy the car. By buying this car, it makes you pay for it even more. It's called a liability. It is a liability, okay? But of course, if let's say this liability sort of like help you in your life in some ways to be able to, like, if you need it, you just need it. Okay, so you just be wise about it. So what we want to do is to acquire more assets. So example, most of the time, in most cases, if you purchase a property and you live in it in Singapore, generally given time, not always accurate, it will make you richer with time. Okay, but after that, you get rich, you can't even sell it because you need to stay in it. So this is an example of an asset. Appreciating asset makes you rich. So your money can go here, boom, disappear. It can go here, makes you poorer, or it can go here. So be wise in where you spend it. Okay, when you actually spend it, purchase things, you can either become richer, okay, you can become middle class or super poor. So this is very, very, very important. So now, final portion. Let me tell you, remember our key principle is get rich bit by bit. I heard of this illustration about compounding. I first heard it from Adam Khoo, then I heard it from Tony Robbins, and quite a number of teachers actually like to use this. I thought it's a very interesting illustration. And then let's take a look at this. Play with me this game, and then you will see some important lessons. Now, the game is this. Any of you guys play golf? If you play golf, help me type G. If you never play golf, you think it's a boring game, help me type 0. Now, whether you play golf or not, for me, I don't play golf, but I do play those mini handphone game golf, 0, okay? Imagine I play golf with you and there's 18 holes, right? Okay, so we say, okay, let's have some fun like competition. And every hole, whoever wins will win a certain prize. So we put aside some money and then we start to bet with each other. I don't encourage betting. I don't encourage gambling. It's just an illustration. So let's do this. Okay, I'm not good in golf. I don't know how good are you in golf. But let's say every hole we just bet 10 cents. Okay, how many of you are okay with 10 cents? If you are okay, help me type okay. So now, the thing is this, 10 cents seems to be a bit boring. How about like this? Every single hole, we just double it. Okay, we just double it. Okay, if, well, double 10 cents, you double 18 times, how much can it be? Some of you, you're calculating already. Some of you, by a raw sense of it, how much will it be? Now, let's calculate, okay? So let's go for it. The first hole is 10 cents. Okay, double with me, calculate together in your mind. Second hole is 20 cents. Correct? No big deal. I mean, if you lose, you win, just 20 cents. Third hole is 40 cents. 80 cents, still manageable. 160, 320. Okay, so there's 18 holes, correct? So this is already 1/3. 1/3 is only $3 plus. Still can afford, doesn't kill you, correct? So remember, this is 1/3. Okay, this is where's the 2/3, and then this is 3/3. Just take a look at this. Now, let's double it again. The 7 hole will be $6.40. The 8 hole, $12. 9 hole, $25. Wow. Halfway there, it seems a little bit more than expected, but $25, can you still afford? If you are still able to afford, help me type Y. Y for yes. I hope so. If you can't afford $25, you go back to your roadmap, you need to have at least $2,000 of emergency fund. And you need to use that emergency fund to pay me $25 in case you lose hole number 9. Now let's go double again. Hole number 10 is 51. Hole number 11 is 102. Hole number 12, wow, it's in the hundreds already. Hole number 12 is 204. Now we are 2/3 there. 1/3 is $33. 2/3 is 204. Sounds like mahjong. Oh dear, how much are you betting for mahjong, man? Okay, I don't know about that, Andy. Okay, so 13 hole is 409. 14 hole is 800. 15 hole is 1,006. Suddenly, we are playing in the thousands. There's only 3 more hole. How much can you get? Okay, 3,002, 6,005, $13,000. From 10 cents, 18 holes later, if it's just a golf, within a few, probably 1 hour or plus, you are suddenly betting $13,000. This is the power of compounding. Now, the principles of growing your money. And it takes a few key principles here. Okay, now, guys, you realize like by 1/3, by 2/3, it's only like $3. By $200, how did it grow to $13,000? So Einstein actually mentioned one of the 8 wonders of the world is compounding. How do people become rich? They are willing to play 18 holes. Most people, they play 1 hole and strike it big. Let's bet 1 million, show hand, and I want the money fast. But fast money do not last. If you build it steadily, it can't be taken away from you. Let's imagine by 13 hole, you lost half of it, 6,000. But you compound it again, you'll become 13,000. The next one will be 26,000. You'll become faster at a growing rate. Okay. So this is the powerful thing. Now, a few things I want you to know is this. There's a few principles. Number 1 is time. You need time for your wealth to grow. You need time for your skills to grow in order for you to build wealth. You need time to build wealth. So please type T. T for time. People hate that. A lot of people say, a lot of people wish to get what you have, but they don't wish to go through the path you go to get there. All the wealthy people that remain wealthy, it is through time, through hardship, through skills. This is the truth. Okay, easy way of getting rich, no such thing. Okay, so now the second thing is this opportunity of time. What do I mean by that? Imagine this is like, let's say, okay, I'm not saying that you can double our money every year, but the whole idea is compounding it. Imagine you start 1 or 2 holes later. So instead of investing now, let me just wait a while, maybe until I pay off my debt, until I finish studying or something like that. Okay, just by waiting a while, let's say waiting for 1 year, okay, or 2 years or 3 years, you start 3 holes later. Instead of 18 hole, you'll be at 15 hole. So instead of 13,000, you'll be at $1,000. Can you see? The cost of delaying is huge, because the earlier you start, the more time you let it compound, the compounding effect will reach faster. It will not reach fast, it will reach faster. So do not delay. Now, what do I mean by that? In case you feel that you need to finish studying everything before you actually start to invest, it's not the bad idea, but you can never finish studying. So start to take small amount of money, start to learn how to invest, or invest into diversified areas, 7 to 8, position size, 1 or 2 of them start to grow for you, your money can compound at maybe 10%, 15%, 7%, and it will start to roll. If you do not invest, you just let the money sit down there in the bank, Oh well, you know that by 18 hole, if let's say your money is sitting in the bank and it's 10 cents, by 18 hole, it will become almost nothing. It will become 0.0 something due to inflation. Okay, so this is the whole key ideas. So now I go back to the key biblical wisdom. Do not try to get rich quick. Just gain little by little. When I say little by little, before you know it, time will pass. 5 years will pass, 10 years will pass, it will pass anyway. It's just that by then, by the time you reach there, have you steadily built your wealth to become super wealthy, or have you tried so many things, try to get rich quick until at 5 years later, you are still in a life of regrets? So don't do that, okay? So really, don't try to get rich quick. Build it up in a steady way. Second portion, nothing wrong with investing. Start to invest as early as possible. Remember to diversify and remember not to love money. So homework, okay, homework of the day, go and find your latte factor. How many of you feel inspired to find your latte? If you feel inspired, how many type I do hope there's some pockets of money somewhere that you are spending. I better go check my credit card. I think there are some subscription I need to cancel as well. Okay. Sometimes when you become a lot more comfortable with your current amount of wealth, you may become a little bit slacker. Again, not to be so tight, but unnecessary spending, just cut. Okay. And then remember, once you find that additional money, set it aside as for savings. Super important. Very important. Otherwise, it's just gone. You're just spending it somewhere else. You take your latte, you go and buy a cappuccino. Okay. What's the point? Okay. I stopped drinking latte. Hooray. Actually, I'm going to buy another coffee. Okay. That's the whole idea. So this is the homework for today. And that concludes the portion about the financial game. Key thing, start to invest, start to find your latte factor, hunt for the treasure inside where you already have, okay, your own map. All right, I'm going to quickly transit into the next segment. How do we invest, right? How do you invest? So, okay, let's say I found my latte factor. I managed to set aside another few hundred to a few thousand every single year. Where do I put the investment? So, again, if you have not watched the previous few series, we did talk about how to study stocks and we talk about the financial statements. Very quickly, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed in any way. This is not a financial advice, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Do your own due diligence. And well, do find a trusted licensed financial advisor. Not all financial advisor, their license are, their license doesn't mean they are capable. Okay, they are supposed to be okay to a certain extent, but I do know of financial advisors who are good and financial advisors who are more interested in making their commission more than helping you. It is their job, but you know what I mean. They're the good ones, and they're the one that's like not so mature enough to help you. So Investing University, let's go into it. Today, we're going to talk about cash flow statement. Previously, we talked about income statements. We talked about balance sheet. Today, cash flow statement. And let's put some things into perspective. Now, by the way, in case you think this is boring, this part is very exciting. It will open up your eyes to how the business and investing work, okay? So now, let me share with you all this particular story called the Enron scandal. If you heard of it, can you help me type E? If you have never heard of it, you can type 0. It's either you are not well read or you are extremely young. Okay, well, quite a number of you guys heard of the Enron scandal. Now, let me share with you what happened. A lot of people lost their retirement fund. It became a big thing in the auditing world. Some of the big 4, big 5. Okay, it used to be a big 6 if I'm not wrong. If you've heard of big 4, it's a PwC, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, and what's one more? Shucks, I cannot remember. Okay, doesn't matter. So anyway, my wife used to work in one of the big 4. It used to be big 6. There's the Enron scandal. One of them get closed down. I think AT&T, was it AT&T? Sorry, Arthur Andersen, right? Arthur Andersen got closed down when the people raid their company to go and check about the Enron scandal. They were caught shredding the paper. So they were actually caught shredding the paper when the federal officers actually came in. So very big issue. Now let me explain to you what happened so that we can become wiser and learn from things that happen. Now, let's talk about this portion. Now, Enron was one of the very, very highly looked upon companies and stock to invest. Earnings per share. This is how much they've been earning, okay, for quarter after quarter, year after year. They make more and more money, more and more money, more and more money. Now, on surface, just based on this fact, since they make more and more money, can we consider them a viable and a possible investment? If you think they are, in the comments type I. Like, yeah, possible, I'm going to invest in them. Now, if let's say I see a company, right, that earns money so nicely, I will be interested. But at this point in time, you can see the share price drop because they realize something. So on paper, on accounting, every year when they do the auditing, yes, they are earning the money. However, let me explain to you how businesses make money. I'm going to use an example of, let's say, an interior renovation company. So let's say this company wants to renovate their building. And then what they do is they buy the services. They say, okay, I would like to actually ask you to renovate. Please renovate my building. Here's $1 million. Just an example. 1 million is a bit very cheap for renovating a whole building, but you get the idea. Okay, so this company, this renovation company, will say, cool, okay, I'm going to renovate, and then after renovating, or they start everything, and then after that, right, let's say they sort of completed the services, they will send the invoice. Usually it's by sequential, correct? They will do the first half, second half, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's say they renovate it very quickly, and then they send the invoice, and once they send the invoice, right, okay, what happened is, on their income statement, you will see a revenue of 1 million. Now, does it make sense? Have they made the money? Now, in accounting standards, have they made the money? Answer is yes, because they deliver the service, they sort of invoice them, okay, they make that 1 million. So let's say after minus cost, minus salary, the profit is 800,000. Great. This year we make near $800,000. Then okay, what happened is, because they send the invoice, this building company, right? Okay, this company, the customer have not paid them yet. So on their balance sheet, it is called receivables. Receivables means my customers is going to pay me soon. Now, this receivables is in 1 million. So what happens is this one, you must understand that after delivering the service, the renovation company has increased their revenue by 1 million. Now, is that good? It's good news, correct? Would you like to make an additional $1 million in revenue? Likely. Okay, so the second portion is their assets also increased by 1 million. Yes, I'm 1 million richer in terms of net worth as well. So is this a good thing so far? Yes or no? I mean, the answer is yes, basically. Okay, you don't have to answer me. Now, then the last part, when this company pays them that 1 million, this 1 million turns into cash. It's no longer receivable. Initially, it's receivable. Receivable means, okay, this 1 million is going to collect later, but now it becomes 1 million in cash, and it will go inside the cash flow statement, which is what we want to talk about today. Okay, so far, is this intuitive and clear? Does it make sense? If it makes sense, help me type M for make sense. Okay, now let me share with you the story of Enron. Enron is a very typical company that is making, well, is doing business. And let me tell you how to get rich quick and make billions. Because what they did is, same thing. This company, company actually want to buy their assets. There are some assets that they want to sell away, and they want to buy them at billions, way above market valuation. Why would anybody want to buy your assets at above market valuation? Why is this asset so valuable? Think about it. This company also purchased billions in dollars worth of services from Enron. Enron, by the way, is an energy company. They provide electricity and things like that. Okay, so Enron sends the invoice and clock as their revenue. Yeah, maybe they want to buy the asset to extend their arms. Okay, so now what happened is, in their income statement, you see billions of dollars of revenue and profits. Enron is an amazing company that managed to make the shareholders a lot of money. Now, in their balance sheet, same thing, they have the receivables in billions of dollars. But the story ends here. The end. Now, if you remember, there's supposed to be another step that happens, which never happened in Enron's case. What was the step that happened that did not happen? Now, the revenue looks very good. The profit looks excellent. The balance sheet, the assets look like, whoa, boom, my net worth is increasing. What is missing? The thing that is missing is cash is never collected from this company. There's no cash. So their cash flow is empty. And investors have never attended Tribe Tuesday's lesson. They did not understand they need to look at cash flow. Now, turns out to be this company, after digging through, this company belongs to Enron. So Enron went to Accra. Okay, I mean in Singapore it's called Accra. They went to open up a lot of companies, company A, company B, company C, company D, company F. And these small little companies, masked as a different name, went to buy Enron's asset, went to purchase the services, and Enron has been clocking revenue after revenue after revenue. Wow, we got a new client. The new client wants $10 billion worth of services. We have delivered the services. The new client wants to buy our old computers at billions of dollars. Let's sell to them. And the shareholders are so happy with them. Enron is so brilliant at making money. They are able to find so many suckers that's willing to pay so much. Little did they know that these suckers are actually created by Enron. These are called special purpose vehicles. Okay, anyway, basically, in case you didn't know, in most of the countries, it's not difficult to just open a company. Okay, within probably like 24 hours or a few hours, okay, the company is open. And guess what? These are the actual companies that took place at that point in time. It's called Chuko Investment, named after Chewbacca from Star Wars. LJM1, LJM2. So all these companies, right? I think a lot is from Star Wars. I'm not too sure why. Okay, so they created all these weird companies to go and buy things from Enron. And all these weird companies are created by Enron's somebody who go and create the business. Do you all see the problem now? Do you see how to make money already, guys? This is how you make money. Just create a company, ask the company to buy services from you. You sell to them. On your income statement, you can clock that you have huge profits. But by the way, this is a true story, in case you all didn't know. So after the whole incident happened, they say, crap, we should have looked at the cash flow. Why didn't we look at the cash flow? Now, by the way, there's another saying, I forgot to actually put it into my PowerPoint slide. They say that revenue is vanity. So it's just a very nice facade. A lot of people can make revenue and you don't know whether the revenue is real. Okay? Profit is sanity, but cash is reality. If that company doesn't have cash, the company is a weird company. Okay? They can say they make a lot of money, show me the money. So now let me give you an example. So can't really find Enron's past 10 years result and things like that because no longer existent. But there are some case studies at the point in time they captured. Now let me show you guys. This is earnings per share. This is the cash flow, free cash flow. I'll explain to you what it means in a moment's time. So this small little sum, 0.71, 0.17, 0.2, 0.27, 0.2, all this is Enron's earnings per share. So every single year, they have been making money for their investors. And some years it becomes more and more. Their earnings per share becomes 0.3, 0.4, 0.37, 0.37. So on paper, their earnings per share, as we saw just now, it grows from 0.17. And then this one, by the way, is quarter by quarter. Quarter by quarter. It's not even year by year. So if you add up together, every year they are making more and more money for their investors, for their shareholders. However, this is cash flow. Cash flow, okay? Okay, out of the don't know how many quarters, right? Every year they have money flowing out of their bank, out of their bank, out of their bank. When net, right? Okay, sometimes money will come in, sometimes money will go out, but every year it is net outflow, net outflow, net outflow. And how do they get all this money to net outflow? They keep borrowing money, and then at the end of the year, by right, borrow money, the money should come into the bank. But at the end of the year, more money flows out than comes in. Now, if you have learned how to read cash flow statement earlier in like before you invest into Enron, there's very high chance you will not invest into Enron. So that's why the next lesson is very important to make sure you know how to invest into companies that have a good cash flow statement, a decent cash flow statement. Okay, I hope that this scares you. Does this scare you guys? Because literally a lot of a retirement fund went into Enron and it disappeared. Okay, so you must know that even people who like even bankers or even certain like sovereign wealth funds, right? They also invest into Enron. These are the smartest of the smartest people, and this escaped their eyes. Right now, you no longer will fall trapped into this because you know how to actually look at cash flow statement. And the funny thing is, there's so many advertisements on Enron. They are one of the big companies, the top 100 companies to work for, the most innovative company for 6 consecutive years. Hey, they are not wrong. They are innovative, but in the wrong aspects. They have very creative accounting department, okay, which is not the place that's supposed to be creative. Okay, got it? And they are the best CEO, which is Jeffrey Skilling, okay, which is from Enron. So now, guys, I'm going to quickly explain to you what's cash flow statement in a very broad manner because there's a lot of details into it. And different types of industry, right? Their cash flow statement may be different. Example, banks, their cash flow statement, it will not be the same as normal cash flow statements. And also REITs will also be different. But let me show you a standard cash flow statement. So if you guys are ready, help me type CF or cash flow. Okay, now, again, I prefer to use the real example. So it's easier to go through it. And we have been using Walmart. Let's go back to use Walmart. So on Jita, you click on financial. You can click on income, balance sheet, and cash flow. Now, let's click on the annual cash flow. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but the whole key idea is this. Now, a cash flow statement, right? You can see there's many line items. And if you don't know how to read it, right, it can be a little bit confusing. But let me share with you how the principles of it and then you'll start to understand, oh, this is how it works. So you can see, right, this is cash flow from Walmart, okay? So let me make sure that I'm right. This is 2020, 2024. We can see a few things. There are three big categories. You think of this like a bank account of Walmart, okay? So you can see there are a few categories. First category is operating activities. Now, the operating activities, right, is mainly how Walmart make money. So what is Walmart's operation? Can you all please help me type down? Okay, very quickly, what does Walmart do? How do they make money? They make money by selling items. Okay, maybe, okay, sell goods. Yeah, that's right. So this is their main operating activities. Okay, so basically, if you want to take a look, I'm going to skip through most of it because in my slides, there will be specific step by step exactly what is happening. I'll go through a few of them so you know to read the rest. But basically, operating activities is one of the most important to see whether this company is making money from their main business, their main operations. So at the end, you can see that cash from operations, it is positive $35 billion. Let me confirm. It's in millions, so it's 35 billion. And this is how much cash they actually make this year. Real, cold, hard cash. I don't know why is it cold and hard. I thought cash is pretty warm and nice. Okay, but 25 billion, 36 billion, 24 billion, 28 billion, 35 billion. There is actual cash going, coming in from their operations, from their supermarket. Cash is real. Okay, so now later I'll go into the details of it. The second portion of it, right, is cash from investing. This is the portion that you have to explain. You have to understand, what does it mean by investing? Investing typically means, example, they buy a new building. So you can see from investing, wow, Walmart seems to be very bad in investing. No, that's not the case. When we talk about Walmart investing, right, it's not as if they buy and sell stocks. They don't do that. They buy and sell buildings. Okay, and then after that, when they buy a building, they will start to do like maintenance, capital expenditure. Okay, if let's say you look at aircraft companies, right, they buy new aircraft. So investing, when you see minus, may not be a bad thing. The money goes up from the bank because they are investing in new assets. Does it make sense? If it makes sense, help me type CI. CI for cash from investing. So the last portion, cash from financing. Now, before I explain, let's take a look first. So cash from financing is negative. Oh no, what is happening? Now, again, if you do not look at cash flow statement, you'll be very confused. So is it good or is it bad? How come so much money flowing out? Now, cash from financing is this. Financing, basically, a company can finance their businesses in two ways. One is they borrow money. Example, they borrow money from the bank. Okay, you can see this long-term debt. And you see a positive number, means that it goes into the bank. So long-term debt, you see 4.9 billion of long-term debt. What does it mean? It means that this year, in 2024, okay, that year, last year, they borrowed another 4.9 billion, and that 4.9 billion was credited into their bank. So you see, oh, the bank, wow, got another 4.9 billion. May not be a good thing because it is borrowed money. Got it? Now, you can see a 4.2 billion minus. What does it mean? They actually pay off some of their long-term debt. Probably they borrow from the bank or maybe a certain bonds, and it's time's up. So they actually minus. So minus may not be a bad thing. Okay, they're paying off their debt. So this is how they are financing their company, okay, through debts. Now, you can, another way to finance your company is to ask shareholders, can you be my partner? Can I sell my shares to you? And when I sell my shares to you, you are giving me money, correct? And this money, I mean, it can go a few ways, but typically just understand that usually when I ask you to be my partner, I need your money to grow the business. It's not I want to sell my business off, okay? So example, look at this, issuance of common stock. When we say issuance of common stock, right? Okay, so far it's minus, negative, right? Or rather nothing. There's nothing here. So meaning to say Walmart did not ask for more money from their shareholders. They did not issue more shares to get more money in. In fact, they have been repurchasing their common stocks. So they are saying, okay, anybody want to sell your shares? You can give to me, I'm going to pay you. So they are buying back shares. Can you see? So how do we know they are buying back shares? They buy back shares and they pay money to shareholders. You can see money goes out. Goes out, correct? So is it a good thing? Let me ask you this. If you are a shareholder of Walmart and you see Walmart buying back shares, taking the money that they make year on year to buy back shares, is this a good thing? Yes or no? What do you think? Y or N? For those who don't know, it is a good thing. Okay, so imagine, let's say there's four of us. Let's say four of us, Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sean. Okay, Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sean. We are shareholders of this super big supermarket that's making a good money every year. And because four of us, we are equal shareholders, we are 25% owner of the shareholders. So if the company makes 1 million every year, they give us dividends, they want to pay everything, we are taking about $250,000 each. Now, assuming the company say, okay, we want to buy back, there's a policy saying we'll buy back any shares for those who want to exit the company, and we buy back from Tom and Dick. So it's left with me and Harry, correct? Sean and Harry. So instead of 25% of the company, now each of us, we own one share each. There's only two shareholders. It becomes 50% of the company. And if let's say the company still makes 1 million, instead of 250,000, now I'm going to get $500,000. Can you see? So when there's a repurchase of common shares, it is something that's typically good. And of course, they also pay dividends. Now, why is paying dividends under financing? Because in order for them to get money from shareholders, they must understand that the cost of financing to their shareholders is typically paying dividends. So this is the amount they pay. They pay about 6 billion pretty consistently, and they pay more and more every single year. So now this is the total dividends paid. Sometimes they give special dividends, but from financing, okay, cash from financing is minus. Why? Because they pay dividends, they buy back shares, they basically take in less finance. They don't need so much money to finance. How many of you are still following so far? If you are still following, help me type 1. Okay, the number 1. So these are the key things. Now, what do shareholders look at? Okay, but before that, let me go through a few things. In fact, just now I mentioned about investing and financing. It's pretty simple and straightforward. I borrow money, money comes into the bank. I pay money, money goes out of the bank. I pay dividends, money goes out of the bank. If I actually sell my equipment, money comes into the bank. If I do capital expenditure, maintenance of my machineries, my whole entire warehouse, money goes out of the bank. This is very straightforward. Now, the confusing part is operating. Operating seems to be easy, but actually, it can be confusing for those who are not trained in accounting. Let me show you this. Okay, so you can see in accounting, accounting, right, you will see the first line is net income. I need to explain to you that this net income, $15 billion, this number is called a base number. Where do they get this number from? They didn't go to the bank and calculate that 15 billion. They do not do that. Okay, they will do a check at the end. But initially, right, this 15 billion comes from here, comes from income statement. Okay, let me just confirm. Where is the... Okay, here, 15 billion. Can you see that? So this $15 billion comes from income statement. And we already know that income statement can be manipulated. Remember, the revenue can be from another Chewbacca company or something like that. Okay, but this income, right, from the cash flow comes from the income statement over here. So the income is called the base number in the cash flow. So the first number you see is from income statement. They say, oh, this is the amount of money we make. However, let's counter check everything and make sure that the cash matches at the end with the income. That's why cash flow is very important. Got it? Now, the first thing you will see, right? Okay, there'll be a few liners, and my slides will explain it bit by bit. You will see this thing called depreciation and amortization. Now, depreciation and amortization in Walmart is $11 billion. What is depreciation? Because they buy a certain warehouse, they buy very, very big buildings, and every year there's wear and tear, right? Every year there's wear and tear. They will actually have to set aside certain amount or certain expenses to say that we need to save up when it finish wear and tear, we need to have the money to actually buy it. Typically speaking, let me explain to you. Let's say when they buy a warehouse and the warehouse costs them 10 million. This is a simple way of depreciation. A warehouse costs them 10, let's say 10 million. They will not put it under expenses. By right, you say, okay, this year, this is how much profit we made, how much revenue. We must calculate all expenses. Now, this year, I spent 10 million to buy a warehouse. What they will ask themselves is, how long can I use this warehouse? How long do you think you can use a warehouse? Maybe in Singapore, commercial building is 60 years, but in US, maybe it's forever, correct? But they say, okay, $10 million, let's say we use the warehouse for 10 years. Likely this warehouse, after we buy, we can use for 10 years. So we say, okay, then every year, we expense $1 million. Does it make sense? So every year, it will be minus 1 million, minus 1 million. We will minus off from our profit 1 million to say that we are using 1/10, okay, one out of 10 years of the life of the warehouse. So this is how they expense it. So during the net income, remember this net income that we got from this income statement is already minusing off all the depreciation, minusing off everything. So all the expenses is minus off already. The cash flow, we add back that the money. You can see. So for depreciation and amortization, we add back. Okay, why do we add back? This is the confusing portion. So I'm going to use this to explain. The rest will be similar. We add back because, right, we say that we spend that 1 million, so we minus off that 1 million from that profit, correct? But actually the money didn't go on. There's no money. It is just an accounting of 1 million. The money has already gone out when we did investing activity. We already spent 20 million to go and buy a new building already. So the money already went out of the bank. So by the time it becomes an income and profit statement, right? We say we spend 1 million this year, but already spent 10 years ago, we already spent already. It's already gone out of a bank account. So this money that we say we spend, we must add back to counter, to make sure that the cash is accounted for. Okay, I hope it's not confusing yet. The truth is, inside this income statement, when you see depreciation, okay, depreciation, amortization, and things like that, right? No money actually go out. They minus the money, but no money actually go out. So therefore, during cash flow, they add it back to counter, to make sure that the cash is aligned. So far, does it make sense? Am I explaining it okay? Okay, can. So roughly around there lah. Got it So you can see a lot of amortization, goodwill, and things like that. When you see them add back, you'll be very confused. Why are we adding it back? Because we already expense off in income net income, but no money really go up lah. So we add the numbers back. We didn't really put money back in, but we add the money back to make sure that the numbers counter. So this is the whole idea of, okay, so there's quite a number of things, investing and things like that. So okay, so in conclusion, right? In conclusion, I'm not going to take out too much time because next week will be the exciting portion already. So this week, right, you can see we have talked about cash flow statement. The previous week we talked about balance sheet to see what we are buying. So when we talk about balance sheet, we talk about what are we actually buying, what assets are we inheriting over. Let's say you go and buy your friend's business, right? And your friend want to sell you a business. Your friend has been running a restaurant for some time. When you go and buy, you must know what assets are you taking over. Are you taking over the restaurant or not? Sometimes you buy their business, you realize that they are just renting the restaurant. That the building is not even theirs. It is not part of the assets. You must know what is that. Now, if they do buy that restaurant and they own the restaurant, and when you buy, you're getting over the restaurant, you must know the liabilities. Is this restaurant under a bank loan or not? So you must know the assets and liabilities when you buy a company. The next portion is income statement. We have to see for the past few years, okay, have they been consistently making money? Have they controlled their expenses well? Is there a nice growing steady net income? Is the assets also steadily growing? Cash flow, we want to make sure that it matches what is written here. Otherwise, something fishy is happening. This is a fish, by the way. Fish. Something fishy is happening. Does it look like a, yeah, it's a fish. Okay. So get it. So this three income statement, right? This three financial statement will give you a better snapshot. That being said, I want to share with you guys, it still can be manipulated. In certain countries, it's a known fact. It's a known fact that businesses of certain countries have a few versions of financial statements. One for themselves, one for tax reporting, one for their partners. You got to be careful with that, okay? So make sure that we actually deal with countries that's more transparent. There's more, I would say, compliance. Like US, it's not perfect, but it's pretty advanced in that. Okay, so that's why you want to actually get listed in US and things like that. It's a little bit more stringent, but we have heard of news like Enron, like even Luckin Coffee. I don't know whether you all know about the Luckin Coffee case. We have heard of many of these issues. So in the end, no matter how nice their financial statement is, always position size. Okay, venture into 7 or 8, like we mentioned that. Okay, Ken? Why do we provide for division? Okay, we provide for depreciation in the income statement, not in the cash flow statement. Okay, so do these are good questions, and do help do me a favor. Whatever good questions you have, do also ask ChatGPT. Say, hey, why is this happening? Let me tell you, I also asking ChatGPT because I also cannot remember some of the things. I studied all this when I was in university, which is like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm just kidding. Okay, 20 years ago. Okay, so all this we got to actually know. Now, so I want to share that congratulations if you have been listening to all this so far, because Warren Buffett said you have to understand accounting. You have to understand. You don't have to do accounting. You have to understand accounting, the nuances. It is a language of business. It's an imperfect language. He also said this, one of the most realistic investors and very wise investors. But he say, unless you are willing to put in effort to learn accounting, how to read, how to interpret, you shouldn't select stocks. Which after years of investing, I also think that not everybody should invest stocks. You can look at investing in the whole index. Okay. I was talking to another investor, a very wise guy. He also mentioned like sometimes you just buy a lot of investment linked policies and things like that. Do you even know what you're doing? Not saying that they are bad, but you must know that they are basically you're just buying another stock. Okay, that's the whole idea. So okay, so these 3 weeks we talk about income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. You can go and we'll put this on the YouTube. Go and watch it. I'll put the notes and also the slides into the Telegram group. You can go and review it. You don't have to be an expert. You'll just become better. Now, if all this is too much for you to digest, it's okay. It is for us initial understanding of it. Next week we'll be talking about financial ratios. So these statements, right, add together, divided by each other, there'll be certain ratios that will be able to tell us which companies seems to be doing better. Okay, let me just give you a quick clue. So even for myself, I don't read into details of every single thing every single time unless there's some anomalies. Like suddenly, how come this year the income jumped by so much? Then I'll go and read into details. Typically, I like to look at a very quick snapshot, and these are some of the key numbers that I like to look at. So next week, we will be going through them one by one, and I think things will become a lot clearer, and we'll do a lot more case studies. So next week, do come and join me, and then you can come and share with me. Hey, maybe we can take a look at this stock. Maybe we can take a look at that stock, and we will study some of the stocks together. So these financial ratios, right, is a combination of income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement put together, and that's where we have a more holistic checklist to see whether this company is a good company based on their financial results. Okay, so I do hope that you guys are excited and you will learn how to invest. Okay, invest wisely. I hope that it has been benefiting you so far. If you have been getting some value, I know I talk a bit fast because of time constraint, and you are also excited to become a good investor, help me type V for value. So that's all I want to share this week. Do invest safe and continue to really position size. No perfect investment, and stay safe. I'll see you guys next week. All right, goodbye.